Welcome to this podcast on how to plan a successful CTO recanalization. I'm Carlo Di Mario, interventional cardiologist from Florence and the current president of the Euro CTO Club. I have with me Roberto Garbo, director of complex coronary intervention and the CTO PCI program in the Maria Pia Hospital of Turin, Italy. Chronic total occlusion are more frequent than we believe, 15-20% of all coronary angiograms, but they are often left untreated or sent to surgery. Let me start by asking Roberto, which are the first steps we must consider to select patient and plan a successful CTO PCI?
Yeah, thank you, Carlo. Good morning. Thank you for this question. I will show you my top 3 key points for CTO PCI. So you can see the first one is a good patient selection is essential. We're talking about patient and we need to select good patient CTO. So not all CTO need to be treated. We know by guideline, European guideline, that the main indication are angina and the large ischemia, as you can see. We know by Euro CTO trial primary endpoint that we have a great gain in terms of reduction of angina, increase of quality of life, reduction of anginal frequency, and increase of freedom of angina of our patient on respect of medical therapy. And we know that talking about ischemia, we know that collateral do not protect from ischemia. They save myocardial viability, you will see later, but they don't protect for ischemia in 95% of our collateral. The viability is really important. This is a case example, is a 42 male with left main chronic total occlusion and huge collateral from the right, but as you can see, the left ventricular function is 10%. So the patient was scheduled for revascularization. The surgeon refused to do that because of the high risk. We decided to perform after magnetic resonance with ECMO assistance, mechanical support. I crossed the circ with the Gaia and then I put IVUS. You can see IVUS on the circ and the IVUS guided penetration of Gaia second on the ostium of LAD. And this is the great final result of this really complex procedure. But the main result is the follow-up. You can see here on the left, we have 10% ejection fraction during the procedure and then 50% after 6 months. So this is the importance of viability when we think about treating CTO. Then the second key point, really important from planning our procedure, is dual angio is essential and careful angiographic review of our CTO, because this is critical for the success and safety of the procedure. We have 4 key elements. Proximal cap is essential to analyze very well the proximal cap. Then we have the CTO body. We need to evaluate the length of the occlusion, the tortuosity, the calcification. Then we have the distal cap and the collateral. So these are 4 elements that we need to take in account where we are doing our procedure. This is an example of how we can do dual injection, low magnification of our panel. You need to inject donor vessel first, wait 1-2 seconds before injecting the CTO vessel, no panning, and the cine need to be long until the contrast clear. This is a critical example for the success of to understand very well the length of our occlusion. This is another case of evaluation of collateral. On the left, we can understand that we have some collateral, some septal connection from left to right, but we cannot understand the course of this collateral. We change a good projection. This is a RAO, and we can see clearly that this septal is feasible for retrograde approach. So these are the main step at the beginning of our planning, the CTO PCI.
Thank you, Roberto. You were very clear. Good patient selection and preparation of the procedure define a clear strategy are essential steps, which is why we recommend not to perform a PCI immediately after the diagnostic angiogram, what we normally call an ad hoc PCI. Newcomers in the field are often intimidated by the different dedicated material required and the jargon that we so-called experts use to describe the procedure. In practice, can you be simple and explain which material, different from what we normally use for angioplasty, is needed in our cath lab? And can you explain in simple words, maybe with an example, the concept of a hybrid algorithm?
All the strategy to increase the success rate and reduce complication. We can see here our PCI toolbox seems to have many things, too much, but they are essential to have to face every situation that we can have in our CTO PCI that we know are more complex than classical normal PCI. So we need microcatheter, single, dual lumen, and we will see later what the difference between each microcatheter. We need, of course, dedicated CTO wires that are essential for this kind of procedure. We need guiding catheter extension, low profile balloons, IVUS, essential, rotational atherectomy for calcified lesion, shock wave in case of resistant calcified lesion, mechanical support system when we face patient with low ejection fraction, and we need, of course, perforation kit because we need to face complication with the main vessel perforation, covered stent. We need coil to close distal perforation or collateral perforation or pericardiocentesis kit. Then we have many techniques. These are the cartoon that show that we have mainly 4 techniques for our CTO recanalization: antegrade wire escalation, antegrade dissection reentry, retrograde wire escalation, and retrograde dissection reentry. What is the hybrid algorithm? Hybrid algorithm, this is the global CTO algorithm that is an evolution of the hybrid algorithm. It starts from dual injection and go consider proximal cap and collateral. We can go to antegrade wiring or to retrograde approach depending on the situation. But the hybrid algorithm means that we need to be flexible. We need to go, an expert operator need to go start in one strategy and go during the procedure fast to a different strategy to increase the success rate. These are the data of recharge registry that easy CTO are done by antegrade wire escalation in more than 86% of cases, and we need low percentage of ADR and retro. If we go to more complex CTO PCI, JCTO more than 2, the increased number of retrograde approach is up to 42%. This is my personal experience in the last 4 years, more than 94% of success and more than 40% of retrograde approach. The hybrid algorithm, it means, as I told you, the flexibility. And this is a case example, is a live in a box that I want to show you. Is a complex patient with in-stent occlusion, very long hold occlusion, proximal cap ambiguity, and we have retrograde connection from the LAD to the septal. I start antegrade with the Navision microcatheter. 135 is a braided microcatheter with the hydrophilic coating that makes easy to use in classical antegrade CTO. This is an IVUS guided puncture. You can see here the IVUS essential for this kind of proximal cap perforation. But we are subintimal with our Gaia. We change strategy. We're performing a step down situation with the Fielder XTA, but we are subintimal, as you can see. And so at this point, we need to stop antegrade approach. We need to go to retrograde because antegrade approach is over. So we need to change our strategy. We need to be flexible. This is an Navision 150 for retrograde and Sion Black. As you can see, the septal surfing of Sion Black was really easy. Then we went to the Navision crossing, quite easy also, even if we have a stent strat on the LAD. Then we have our microcatheter retrograde at the level of PDA, so we need to make the connection. And this, you will see the crossing with retrograde wire, with the knuckle, with the gladius knuckle, try to perform reverse cart, and with the 2O balloon. This is the balloon coming. Inflation with 2O balloon. We need to go in overlapping antegrade and retrograde wire. So we don't care about intraplaque or extra plaque, true lumen, false lumen, subintimal. We need to have the two wire in the same space, even there are extra plaque or intraplaque. In this case, with this double knuckle antegrade and retrograde, we are sure that we will have the subintimal course of connection. We increase our dilatation with a 3O balloon, you can see here, and then you will see easily the crossing of our retrograde wire in the Gaia secondary entry. You can see through the stent strat. Now we are in the aorta. I will retrieve a little bit the Gaia. This is a real-time fluoroscopy storing, and then the Gaia second in the antegrade guiding catheter. Externalization with the R350 long wire. You can see here the externalization of our retrograde wire. And then we make the circuit, we make the connection. And now we are able to perform our PCI. We make a dilatation. This is the IVUS that show that we have a subintimal track of our retrograde wire. This is the track of connection. You can see we have the true lumen, and the IVUS is in the subintimal space. Now the IVUS exactly is intraplaque. So we connected the true to true from proximal to distal. Then we need to open the side branch. And we use a dual lumen. Also, we need dual lumen is another essential device for CTO. Dual lumen entering this big side branch, and then we perform stenting, kissing balloon, stenting of the right. You will see the final result. Check on the left system, always to check the collateral. And then the final shot on the right. So this is the concept of hybrid algorithm. Be flexible, go fast from one strategy to another strategy to gain the success of our complex procedure. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Roberto. I think it's been a very practical session to understand patient selection and procedural planning for CTO. Enough at least to raise the interest of young operators who want to improve their skills. Of course, it's not enough 5 minutes of podcast, is not enough to attend congresses, but we highly recommend the annual congress we will hold this year in Germany, Mainz, between the 2nd and 3rd, and the possibility to watch multiple live recorded cases and talks on the website of the EuroCTO Club. Don't be shy to apply for membership. There will be many possibilities to interact with the club, to participate in workshop. At the end of the day, you learn a PCI procedure only in the cath lab. Let me finish by thanking iVascular for the support giving for this podcast and in general for all the initiative of the EuroCTO Club.
Thank you, Carlo. It was a great pleasure to be with you in this session.